use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross start the fourth quarter. Mile High Stadium. Denver up 21-17. Cincinnati at the Broncos 30-yard line. Second down and 10. Late to throw. Here's the screen to Carter. It's infiltrated by the Broncos. It'll lose yardage.
Bill Romanowski, Charlie, was all over that screen pass. We talked about the veteran leadership somebody like Romanowski brings. A pressure situation, a pressure down. That is what stops this thing, because it's very well set up.
A loss of 3, third down, 13. Bill Romanowski, 6'4", 241 pounds, out of Boston College. Darnay Scott goes wide to the far side. Pickens to the near side.
They've done a lot of business on third and long.
Pickens a crossing pattern, a sliding grab. The 26-yard line, maybe the 25-yard line. Still about 5 or 6 yards shy of the first down.
That puts Pelfrey in a medium situation for Bruce Cosler. This is an easy decision. It's fourth and long enough. You try to put these extra points on and get the ball back and score some more later.
They'll mark it at the 34-yard line, an attempt of 44 yards. He has missed from 56 and hit from 38. Good snap, good hold, and it's down the middle. It is good from 44 yards away. And the Bengals pull within 1 of Denver. Back in a moment.
The official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Nokia wireless phones. Inspired technology with a human touch.
13 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game here in Denver. And the Broncos are up only by 1. 21-20 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Von Hebron is the return man. Doug Pelfrey, who just booted the 44-yard field goal, kicks it away. Take it at the 9. Now out to the 20, 25. Leads out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Miller Time game summary. 21-20, as I mentioned. Elway has thrown for 152 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Blake, 177 yards and a touchdown. The unexpected.
But without a doubt, it's Cincinnati getting a 100-yard rusher in Ki-Jana Carter. I mean, that has been the difference. That one huge play just sparked the confidence level of this entire football team.
Denver at their own 31-yard line, first down. Elway has pressure. Dumps it over the middle to Terrell Davis on the run. He pulls it down at the 36-yard line as we move to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Charlie, in Buffalo, Indy once led Buffalo 26-0. This is Antoine Smith, 15 yards and a touchdown for his very first touchdown in the NFL. The 2-point conversion attempt failed. The Bills have now closed to 26-16 late third quarter, Charlie.
There's plenty of time remaining in that ball game, too. Mark the ball at the 36-yard line, second down and 5. Davis jumps to the outside, has the first down.
What a fabulous move by Terrell Davis at the end of that run. I mean, Jimmy Spencer fills up to hit Terrell Davis. Remember, we talked about him being consistent, being steady, and once in a while he can give you that sharp move and make you miss. That is a Nolan Ryan no-hitter whiff there.
In the first game against Kansas City, Davis rushed for 101 yards. Second game, Seattle, 107. St. Louis, 103. 114 yards thus far in this ball game. 4 consecutive 100-yard games. This one a little low and incomplete.
Yeah, more importantly, too, from the way John Elway's running back Terrell Davis runs the ball is how much he runs the ball. He averages consistently in the 4.5 to 5 yards a carry. I mean, he came into this game averaging 4.6 yards a carry. That's like you give it to him on first down, you're looking at 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5. That's a dream for Elway and Shanahan.
Check out the ticker, see what's going on in the NFL today. What's going on in Mile High Stadium? The Denver Broncos have their hands full with the Cincinnati Bengals. Pitch to Davis, cuts back over the middle, near the 50-yard line. They'll spot at the 49-yard line. It'll be third down, still around 3 yards to go, maybe 4 yards to go for the first down. Rico McDonald makes the tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Good job up front by Habib and Zimmerman over there on that right side. A quick toss to Davis. Good blocking up front opens that thing up. At first, it doesn't look like much. But you got a block down by Sharp, a block out by Zimmerman, and just a quick 5 yards.
Third down, almost 4 yards to go for the first down. Timeout, Denver. Stops the clock, 11:22. Time remaining in the game. Back in a moment.
I hate machines. Sorry, Rosie.
Why don't we go to the new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George? They have Sprint's easy-to-use products.
And the know-how of Radio Shack.
They even showed Astro how to use his mobile phone.
They could even help you, Mr. J.
Astro has a mobile phone? Well, oh, Rhonda.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Rocks. Some people skip them, stack them, or just plain ignore them. But then there's these Texaco people. They love the darn things. Obsess over them. Go to the ends of the earth to find them. They study them. They scan them. Even taste them. Why? You find the right rocks. You find the energy the world needs to keep on running. Texaco. A world of energy.
This toothbrush is my life. Why'd I have to pick archaeology? My father begged me to be a lawyer.
Hey, it's never too late.
Yeah, right. What about you, man? You ever think about retiring?
Peter, my friend, I am retired.
For people with their own idea of retirement.
And I was a lawyer.
Now there's Aetna Retirement Services. We not only give you the tools to build assets, but manage them as well. Build for retirement, manage for life.
NBC Thursday, the #1 drama.
Ready, camera 3.
Goes live.
Stand by. Here we go. Online.
One night.
Ready, camera 2.
Unfolding before your eyes.
In 3.
Anything can happen.
2. 1.
Anything.
Oh my God!
ER season premiere, live, NBC Thursday.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch that live. Your dad was a doctor, was an actor, and he acted as a doctor at times. But he played one on television. So.
I don't care. They still can't have my telescope.
Meanwhile, Terrell Davis pops it loose. He'll score. Willie Green, who called the timeout, now becomes the hero. That was a third down play.
When you play the John Elway Broncos, you say, hey, look, you never quit, you never stop on defense because you're worried about John Elway. Well, you better add Terrell Davis into the better not quit, better not stop category. Greg Myers misses a tackle, and then it is all nothing but blue end zone coming up for Terrell Davis. Great job up front by the offensive line. Quick explosion and a mile-high salute.
Extra point is good. 28-20, the Denver Broncos. Davis has now rushed for 173 yards.
Hey, Wayne, where'd you get the slick tailgate go off your table?
I made it, Tom. I welded some legs on an old tailgate.
Man, we should sell these babies. We could be millionaires.
Wayne and Tom do not need to play the Coca-Cola NFL Red Zone. They have no need for big screen TVs or free trips to Super Bowl 32. They invented Tailgate Coffee Table. You did not. So unless you have an idea as good as Tailgate Coffee Table, play the Coca-Cola NFL Red Zone.
Mom's calling Enterprise Rent-A-Car because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
Wow.
Drive you to our place and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Roll on through. There's so much life to do.
All light truck tires are on sale at Sears. Brands like Michelin, Goodyear, and Bridgestone.
Rolling on through. Yeah, yeah.
Sears Auto Center. Sale ends Saturday.
something big has happened. 1-800-COLLECT has once again revolutionized collect calling. Introducing 10 cents a minute collect calling from 1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute for collect calls every evening and all weekend long. Bigger savings for everyone in America. Whoever thought collect calling could be so cheap? 10 cents a minute from 1-800-COLLECT. Who else?
Next Sunday at the special time of 12:30 Eastern on the NFL on NBC, the Jaguars, the Redskins, Natron Means and unbeaten Jacksonville invade the nation's capital. Or Elway's Broncos face the Falcons. Or regional action. The NFL on NBC next Sunday at the special time of 12:30 Eastern.
Terrell Davis scoring from 50 yards out, 24 carries, 173 yards rushing in the ballgame.
You know, in the past, everybody used to talk about his migraines. Now it's not the migraines he has, it's the ones he's causing defenders and defensive coordinators like Dick LeBeau.
David Dunn at the 5-yard line on the return to the 20. Hit at the 20, leans forward to about the 22-yard line as we go back to the touchdown.
Interesting play in that they let the linebacker Andre Collins go outside, scoop in, block out, block down, watch the hole that develops, and then watch Greg Myers, 31, come up and say, I got him. No, I don't. There he goes. Gets a nice block from Ed McCaffrey in the defensive backfield. And he has 173 yards, his career high 194 last year against Baltimore.
And a look at Greg Myers, who missed the tackle. First down at the 22-yard line. Ki-Jana Carter, maybe a yard. Darian Gordon moves up and makes the tackle.
Remember, I keep talking about the calm and the composure. There's very few places where momentum can be a physical thing. This crowd gets so loud and feeds off this defense when it plays well that when a John Mobley makes a big play and the house goes nuts, you can physically on the field as an offense going against him, you can feel the energy being drawn into this defense. You got to take a deep breath and execute.
Second down and 9. Pressure coming. Blake rolls, pump fakes, keeps up the sideline, out of bounds.
Well, that wasn't any Joe Average that Jeff Blake made miss. That was John Mobley coming with a full head of steam.
Who's supposed to pick him up?
Jeff Blake.
He did.
Well, you had 5 guys blocking 5 guys. He's only got so many blockers up front. Mobley comes real late from the outside, top of the screen. You see he's completely clean. There's no one on that side of the ball to block him. You know, and honestly, sometimes in offensive game plans, quarterbacks say, if he comes, he's mine. He was his, and he missed it.
Third down and 7. 3 wide receivers, 2 backs. Both backs in the block. Here comes more pressure. Pass is complete. Spinning and leaning forward. David Dunn trying to stretch out for the first down. It will be ever so close.
I'll tell you, if this spot is for a first down, and it is, our referee Mike Carey signals first down, take a picture of Jeff Blake, because right now he's the picture of that calm and that composure. They are blitzing him. They bring Romanowski inside. They bring Aldridge in his face. He made Mobley miss before. He made Aldridge miss this time. And then his receiver, Dunn, gets him the first down.
Cincinnati at their own 33-yard line. Just over 9 minutes time remaining in the game. Play action fake. Deep down the sideline. Tipped, and it is incomplete. James Hunden from Portland State, the intended receiver.
Tell you, this Denver defense is attacking Cincinnati right now. They're coming after Blake. And right now the officials are letting a little of this bumping, a little of the grinding and hitting going on without throwing flags. That was just belly to belly, good D&O.
D&O, defense and offense?
Very good.
I thought I'd just throw that in. I got that from ER. The producer at ER called me and wanted me to help you in our live coverage. Second down at 10, 33-yard line. ER this week on NBC will be live. This will be fun to watch. Rainbow Deep has his man there, and oh, it's dropped. Darnay Scott. Oh, no. Scott from San Diego State. Whoa.
You get a flag right in that defensive holding part of the field.
But that was 7 or maybe 8. Oh.
Holding on the defense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
On Romanowski. Nevertheless, here's the drop.
Working out of the slot. Coming in, going long, open. You know what? He saw that go all the way through his hands. John Copeland, the big defensive lineman, saying, I could have caught that.
First down, Cincinnati. 8:56 time remaining. Corey Dillon. Dillon a stutter step down the sideline. Bruce Cossett said he wanted to see this big youngster run, and he can run.
But Corey Dillon is 230 pounds. Corey Dillon, he's giving you that stutter step. If you hesitate before you hit him, you're going to bounce off. Because you're going to see a stutter. You're going to see a bounce off of the leg. Now here's a stutter. Here's another bounce off, trying to arm tackle. Don't be fooled by this man being a halfback. He is strong, and you do not arm tackle either one of these Bengals halfbacks.
He picks up 28 yards on the play. We have a timeout on the field. Trainers have moved out. Clock is stopped with 8:48 time remaining in the ballgame.
You see what this calm and this confidence has done for Bruce Coslett and Jeff Blake's offense? It has taken this mile-high crowd that was so loud, going so crazy for a while. It's quieted them down. It's made the defense step back. Bruce Coslett's done a great great job of calling plays, but more importantly, Jeff Blake has kept his cool and he's executed around the plays.
The ball at the Denver 34-yard line. First down, Cincinnati. Eric Bieniemy might have a yard, might not have a yard. NBC Premier Week starts tomorrow, kicking off 5 nights of all-new must-see comedy featuring the season premieres of Suddenly Susan, Fired Up in Caroline, plus The Naked Truth and Dateline. Don't miss a minute. NBC Premier Week, it starts tomorrow. I never thought it would get here. I'm ready for some good television.
That's the great thing about football. We don't have reruns. Give me the real thing.
Second down and 2. Brian Milne, the fullback, in motion. We've got flags everywhere.
Brills, the center, was like the loneliest man in the city of Denver right there. Everybody else is backing up for a play. He never moved the ball. Never moved a muscle, much less the ball.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Named second down.
See, I like that they did not blame the center. They blamed the other 10 guys that moved. Watch. Everybody's moving. Look at Brills. Look at Brills.
You played some center. How does that happen?
That's pretty easy. You just get the wrong snap count and you don't move.
Go on first down. He said, what?
Hey, my theory was always, I got the ball, you're all wrong.
It's my ball if you want to continue playing.
That's right. You're going to believe these guys behind me or your lying eyes.
Second down and 15 at the 39. Pressure from the backside, steps away from it. Runs for the corner, brought down. John Mobley gets it. Third time he's been sacked in the ballgame.
Well, you remember, Mobley missed Blake earlier, and it's kind of like the dodge me once, that's okay, you're pretty good. Dodge me twice, fat chance. Nice job of bull rushing and stunning up front by the Denver defense, but he keeps them in the crosshairs the entire time. There's no diving and lunging. That's all straight defensive football for John Mobley out of Kutztown in Pennsylvania.
Third down and 18. Broncos show a 3-man rush. 7 in the secondary, 8 in the secondary. Incomplete, flag is down. James Hunden, the intended receiver.
Play clock ran
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
The third down and 23.
And if Bruce Cosley gets that same three-man front again, you got to think he's not going to try to dink it off into a short zone like that. There's plenty of time left here if he can stop the Denver run. He has got to get his team in scoring position, scoring including a field goal.
Cincinnati will take the timeout. That is their last timeout of the ball game. They take it with 6:36 left to go. Don't go away. We'll be back in a moment.
There's no question that computers open up entirely new worlds. But what about children who live in a world that can't afford personal computers? Fortunately, as of today, we'll never have to ask that question again. Network computers allow everyone to join the information age. And we'd like to say, welcome, Oracle, enabling the information age.
At the Principal Financial Group, you'll find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You'll find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs. And you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over a century, you've trusted the Principal for strength, flexibility, and balance in retirement, insurance, and financial products. At the Principal, we give you an edge.
Hot to the house with the latest flavor that everybody loves. Domino's Pesto Crust Pizza. Seasoned with garlic, basil, and parsley. Baked into a classic hand-tossed crust. Sprinkled with zesty herbs and tangy Romano cheese. Always made fresh when you call and delivered hot to your house. Now order any large one-topping pizza for $9.99 and get a second one of equal or lesser value for $5.99.
NBC Premiere Wednesday, it's Third Rock on its new night. A one-hour special with Dick's new alien wife, Roseanne.
My wife? You told me your wife was dead.
That's what she told me.
The series that won 5 Emmys.
Let me love you.
The season premiere of Third Rock from the Sun, NBC Wednesday. Spank me.
Just over 6.5 minutes remaining. Denver up 28-20. Cincinnati out of timeouts. Broncos have 2. It'll be third down and 23. In reality, how much yardage does Cincinnati want here?
About 15 yards puts them in field goal range of Pelfrey. They got no timeouts. You've got to give it a shot.
Quick rolls right, sets. He scored for the whole ball of wax. And he comes up empty. He had an opening to run. He could almost pick up the first down. I'm surprised with that.
I'm very, very surprised they were throwing all the way down in the end zone. I mean, you got plenty of time left here. Bruce Cosley's defense, granted, has had a double of a time stopping Terrell Davis.
But look at that opening that he has right there.
Well, those openings tend to close pretty quick when the defenders figure out he's running. But it actually goes through the arm of Crockett and bounces right off the face of Darnay Scott.
The Denver trainer out on the field. Mike Lodich from UCLA coming to the sideline.
Now you're looking at a must situation. Here Lodich is trying to plead in his case there, saying, it wasn't me, I swear, it wasn't me.
Lee Johnson now will kick. Fourth down and 23. Darian Gordon, the return man for Denver. Whoa, way over his head. Picks it up at the 20. He gets the kick airborne. Takes a bit of a Cincinnati roll. A remarkable effort. It will go for about 2.5 yards, maybe 3 yards on the kick.
Well, you want to argue at any time as to whether or not some kickers, especially punters or athletes, challenge a guy like Lee Johnson with this kind of a air ball. You got air balls that miss the net. This is an air ball that almost missed the field.
Greg Truitt is the long snapper. And this was truly a long snap.
And that is giving it up by Johnson, too, because he's out of the protection zone. He knows as soon as he goes to kick that thing, he's going to get slammed.
As soon as the ball hits the ground, the kicker loses all protection.
There's a snapper Truitt right there. I've done that before. It is not hard for that ball to get away from it. I snapped on a field goal once and lost 35 yards.
Denver first down at their own 45-yard line. Elway to Rod Smith. Has it to the 50.
You know, much like we talk about boxers, when they get an opponent in a bad situation, they get him in trouble, they've got to learn to finish people off. You're seeing right now is this Denver offense knows they've got the Cincinnati Bengals in that type of position. The Bengals are hurt, the Bengals are reeling, and right now Elway and Shanahan are going to try to give them a blow that'll finish them off.
Denver leading 28-20. 5.5 minutes time remaining in the ball game. Davis jumps to the outside. The race is on. A little stutter step, and then he is caught and taken out of bounds by Greg Myers.
And that's now a career high for Terrell Davis. That's a 34-yard run. And that is just Terrell Davis, too, reading the blocking up front. His offensive line, especially that left side of Mark Schlereth and Tony Jones, collapses things. And that gives Terrell Davis 25 carries for 207 yards.
First down at the Cincinnati 15-yard line. McCaffrey slides outside. Davis gets the handoff again. Let's go back to the blocking that opened the hole for Terrell Davis.
Well, watch the left side. You got Jones and Schlereth collapse things this way, the cutback and the see you later bye by Terrell Davis. The collapse. Rod Smith has a little bit of a block on Jimmy Spencer, but that's just good blocking up front and a quick burst by Terrell Davis.
Second down and 7 at the 12, and as you mentioned, a career high 211 yards rushing. So 4 games, 100 plus, 100 plus, 100 plus, 200 plus. Elway waits, throws is low, incomplete. He was going to Rod Smith, who has scored 2 touchdowns. Next Sunday, exciting NFL action will continue beginning at a special time, 12:30 Eastern time, following our Ryder Cup coverage with the NFL on NBC. A full slate of regional action comes your way as Jacksonville battles Washington. The Broncos take on Atlanta. Seattle faces Kansas City. The Jets play the Bengals. A regional action. So check the local listings for the game in your area next Sunday on NBC. I've got the Broncos at Atlanta, and you will be where?
I'll be in San Diego with the Ravens and the Chargers. But Charlie, Terrell Davis is the first running back in Broncos history to rush for over 200 yards.
Whoa.
In a game.
Third down and 7, and he adds to that total.
There's people you see do great things that you say, well, gee, he's great, and it happens all the time, and that's nice. Enough nice things can't happen to a young man like Terrell Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, you'd want this guy to be your son. He is so nice. And to have these kind of things happen to him is just wonderful, and that's because he's got a quarterback in Elway that scares people, and they worry about the pass. He's got a coach like Shanahan that calls the plays and a very good offensive line.
Fourth down and 2. Timeout. Oh, Elway was out of time. Whoa, he looked up and he was looking at an almost 0 on the play clock. Back in a moment.
This is the sound of commitment. The planes, trucks, and people of UPS in action, giving you more on-time delivery options than anybody else. Whether it's same day, overnight, 2-day, 3-day, ground, international. In other words, whatever you need to move your business.
Thanks.
UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Greg Truitt, who was the long snapper for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Lee Johnson, the punter, who salvaged the punt after it went way over his head and got only 3 yards on it. Set up in reality this drive. John Elway was looking at the play clock, trying to bark and make a pull off sides for the first down. That didn't work, so a 25-yard field goal is added by Jason Elam. And that will put the game in reality out of sight for the Denver Broncos. They go up 31-20 with 3:26 left to go. Now, a lot of things can happen in 3:26, so it's not a definitive 4-0 record, but it's very close.
Well, you've got a very quick strike offense. You've seen the great plays this offense can do for the Bengals, but you know, the Denver defense has looked awful strong at times too. So Bruce Coslett's team is thinking nothing but huge chunks offensively. Jeff Blake needs at least 2 or 3 more of those big plays with this much time. It's still 3.5 minutes to go. But remember, they used their last timeout.
Yes.
So there's no timeouts. Quick note, too, about Terrell Davis was 27 carries, 215 yards. Number 2 in the league so far for a daily rush. Eddie George, week 1 at 216 yards against Oakland.
Jason Elam will kick it away. David Dunn on the far side. Corey Dillon on the near side are the return men. Dunn will field it at the 1-yard line. Out to the 15, cuts back at the 20. Nice return across the 30, out to around the 32-yard line. Guess what? A flag around the 23. In that Seattle-San Diego game, seesaw battle, Seattle has taken the lead 20-19 in the 4th quarter.
During the return, holding on the return, team number 72, 10 yards, first down.
Holding on Scott Brumfield, and not a very good way to start your comeback drive.
Hey, you're going to be looking at a 3-man rush and all kinds of coverage. You talk about that Seattle-San Diego game. You know, is somebody going to remind Warren Moon he's 40 years old and isn't supposed to be doing these things? Because he threw that touchdown pass to Joey Galloway and put him ahead.
He'll be 41 in November, but his arm doesn't know it. I think he's having the time of his life. I saw him last week, and he's throwing like he did 20 years ago. Cincinnati down by 11 points. Take a look at the ticker. That'll bring you up to date on all the other scores. Bengals starting from their own 12-yard line, first down. 3 wide receivers, split back. Trying to dump it off in the middle. It is tipped and it is caught, and they are going to rule it a reception. Clock continues to move. Cincinnati is out of timeout. 18-yard line. It goes for 6, second down and 4.
That was a good job of concentration by Dillon, because Ma Tunavasa actually got his hand on that.
This one is tipped again. Neil Smith. That will stop the clock.
Look at Neil Smith. Isn't defense fun when you're up by 8 with about 2.5 minutes to go and they got to throw the ball?
More fun when you're up by 11.
Well, I tell you what, it's a lot more fun when you're in those blue and orange jerseys than if you're in those white ones. I've been in those white ones a lot. We're in this kind of a place. It's loud, and those guys in front of you are they're frothing. They are so excited because they know they can just draw a bead on your quarterback.
Denver shows a 5-man rush. Now they show 6 men. 5 come. It is dropped. Pickens, a 5-man rush, out of time. It was low to Pickens, and it's incomplete. It will be 4th down and 4. Cincinnati has no option. They have to go for it here. 2:45 time remaining. They trail by 11, 31-20.
And if you don't get a first down here, obviously you're going to lose the game, but also obviously you're going to give up another touchdown.
Split back. On target far side, should be the first down. Darnay Scott hangs on to this one. He dropped one earlier in the ball game when he was wide open on a deep pattern. 29-yard line, first down.
I don't care how tall Jeff Blake isn't. This guy can swell up with the best of them. When he has to do it, he can bring it.
Good protection all the time in the world. Now he is out. He'll scramble for it. And he goes into the slide to the 36-yard line. Clock continues moving.
Very important they get it off here in the next 8 seconds before the 2-minute warning.
They won't do it. 2-minute warning will be given to both benches, and we'll be back with the Broncos leading 31-20.
Ah, row double Z, where the real fans sit. My people, everything's better up here. The air's cleaner, beer is colder. It's like being up in the Rockies where Coors Light is frost brewed. It's the kind of place where a man needs a beer and a beer needs a man. And beer is the way beer is supposed to be when beer is really beer. These people are like my family. Well, maybe very distant cousins.
What do I know about computer networks?
What do I know about networks?
What do I know about setting up my own network?
Bupkis.
Nada.
Nothing. Jack squat.
Owen Moore works at the Liberty Mutual Research Center.
Hey, Randy, use an underarm motion.
Thanks, Doc.
Owen studies how you can do your job better and safer.
Reaching out.
Ensuring workplace safety. That's the freedom of liberty. Liberty Mutual.
Send your packages in 2 days with FedEx to lots of different places. You get lots of different prices.
Send your packages in 2 days with UPS to lots of different places. You get lots of different prices.
Send your packages in 2 to 3 days with priority mail to lots of different places. You get the same price.
You know, $3.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
It's time once again to sign up for the 1997 Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick competition. It's open to boys and girls ages 8 to 15, with local competition held in every NFL city. No charge for participation. Call 1-800-NFL-SNAP.
We have 2 minutes left here at Mile High Stadium. Denver is up by 11, 31-20, and time permitting, at the conclusion of our game, we will switch you to the Kingdome in Seattle for the conclusion of the San Diego-Seattle Seahawks ball game. Seattle is leading in that one by a score of 20-19. Second down. Flag is down. Pass is complete. Caught near the line of scrimmage, but a flag came flying immediately.
That's going to be holding against the Cincinnati Bengals late.
We believe on Rod Jones, the left tackle, number 60.
A little bit of a takedown.
They'll take the penalty.
Holding on the offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
Yeah, this is a free-for-all. Remember, you don't want to let him get your quarterback. Tanavasa is going to have a chance of getting him, and, you know, he never tackled him. That was not a takedown. That was just sort of a whoa. Put his arm around him and whoa.
Well, that was the whoa 12th penalty against the Bengals for 123 yards. No flag, screen. Pass is complete to Corey Dillon. And Dillon gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at the 36-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3 yards to go for the first down. Bill Romanowski and Neil Smith taking him out of bounds. The highlight for Cincinnati, Ki-Jana Carter, rushing for more than 100 yards.
But the low light, on the other hand, is Terrell Davis getting 215 yards on a day that John Elway doesn't even breathe on 200 yards passing.
Elway is thrown for only 162 yards in the ballgame. Deep over the middle. That's going to be pass interference.
That was early.
You got it there.
There it comes
I'm
late.
so glad that somebody finally threw a flag. Darday Scott, and he was nailed by Tyrone Braxton way before the ball got there.
Pass interference on the defense, number 34. Spot foul, automatic. First down.
The far side receiver right here. Keep an eye on Scott. You know, life and football at times are timing. You want to go up, you want to time your pass, you want to time your attack, and the attack of Mr. Braxton was a little bit off.
He got there early for his appointment. Denver 45-yard line, first down, 1:39 time remaining. Cincinnati, no timeout. Screen knocked down. Trying to throw a little middle screen to Eric Bieniemy, and it was knocked away by Michael Dean Perry.
Knocked away, it was darn near squished. He put that thing right. You know, that's actually not a bad play sometimes. You throw it right at a defensive lineman, odds are he's not going to catch it. Watch this. Defensive linemen are a threat to pop the ball a lot quicker than they're going to catch the ball.
But he's got his catcher, he's got his wide receiver's gloves on.
Well, yeah, you know he'd give the mile-high salute if he scored, but I wouldn't start practicing that salute too early.
Second down and 10. Four-man run. Here is Dillon. Stretches out, clock is moving. 1:26 and counting. Tim McKyer with the tackle. Cincinnati taking way too much time. They're losing an extra 10 seconds on the set of here. Hit sack ball is free. It is scooped up by Alfred Williams. Jeff Blake is still on the ground, and Alfred Williams is in the end zone.
Alfred Williams scores a touchdown against the team that in 1991 made him their top pick. He did it because he wasn't blocked. Or Neil Smith wasn't blocked. He came free on Bruce Coslett's quarterback, Jeff Blake. It was a clean hit. It was a legal hit. But it was a nasty hit. Neil Smith is going to come from the right side of your screen without ever breaking stride. I mean, he has launched himself into Jeff Blake. That ball comes loose, and Alfred Williams has got a free run to the end zone. And you know, the mile-high salute. Well, here's the Alfred leap. Not much for the landing, but he gets good style points on the jump.
Alfred needs work. Meanwhile, Jamie Brown was missing from the extra point team. He's a late arrival. Still with plenty of time for the extra point. It is good. Alfred Williams, 49 yards. His first NFL touchdown.
Comes Neil Smith. Absolutely free. Willie Anderson, the right tackle, never lays a finger on him. He brutalizes Jeff Blake. The ball comes free. Nothing left but the jump. Look, I mean, nobody moves. I never heard a whistle. Mike Carey, the referee, never waved his arms, but this offensive line stopped.
And Williams is watching his dive on the jumbotron to the big screen there. And hang on to that football. That's a trophy.
Got to learn the roll part of that dive.
57 seconds, time remaining in the ball game. Elam, a squib type kick right up the middle.
Somebody better get it.
Better get it in a hurry. James Hundon recovered it. You know, earlier we said we might take you to the conclusion of the San Diego-Seattle game. Well, we're for sure now we're going to take you. Not there. We're going to go to the other end of the country, going to Buffalo for the Indianapolis-Buffalo game in Buffalo. And 29-23, the Baltimore Colts are leading the Buffalo Bills. We'll go to the conclusion of that one after this one's over.
Is that the same game that was 26-0 Colts?
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Another great Rich Stadium comeback so far, or attempt by the Bills.
On the ground is Corey Dillon. Dillon to the 40. Dillon fights his way across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. 21 yards on the play, and let's look at the total rushing yardage of Corey Dillon. He didn't see that much action earlier, but 3 carries, 54 yards. He has been impressive.
Yeah, the running game in general. Ki-Jana Carter obviously getting over 100 yards has been impressive. But I tell you, it's just the offensive line at this point for the Bengals is a lot of things. But one thing it is the most is it's just not good enough.
Jeff Blake, who was nailed by Neil Smith, is back, of course, in the ball game. He hands off to Corey Dillon again. And that is final. It is Denver 38. New England is also 4-0. Tampa Bay hosts Miami tonight. They are 3-0. Jacksonville, they are 2-0. So that wraps up the action here at Mile High Stadium. Well, we've got another change. We're going to go to Seattle. Let's join Mike Breen and James Lofton in the Ki-Jana